go ahead and call Village Board to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I thank everyone for their attendance, and if Melissa from Public Works is honoring us tonight by taking the minutes, can I make note of the various role of the trustees and department heads officials? Let's move on to item 3. Entertain a motion for the approval of the 4/16 Village Board meeting minutes and to file the 2/20 Park and Rec, the 3/12 Public Safety Committee, and the 3/26 Plan Commission meeting minutes as presented.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. As always, comments, questions, clarifications on the minutes. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Anybody in the audience wishing to be heard on a non-agenda item? Non-agenda. Yes, sir. Could you just get your name and address, please?
Sure. My name is Michael Moss. I am a 5-year resident of Grafton, live 2008 Yuma Court. I am a hematology oncology pharmacy specialist at VA, and I am an active Grafton Little League coach for girls softball in 2 divisions. I challenge the board today to reconsider, or at least seriously consider, more so than already has been done, the proposed bike path to connect the Blue Stem subdivision to the Blackhawk Valley subdivision. And I use the word proposal because there doesn't seem to be strong plans currently for this path. It seems like the motivation for this path is a little cloudy, and there seems to be significantly better options for this path rather than disturbing the proposed properties in Blue Stem and the current property in Blackhawk Valley.
Okay. Thank you. That plan is not been defined yet or designed. It won't be until we get the final plat for phase 1, and we'll make sure that you're invited to all public meetings.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, with that being said, let's move on to item 5, business presented by the president. Number 1, 2018 Tourism Promotion and Development Report. Pam Kane, come on up.
So it's an exciting day in the state of Wisconsin for tourism because today the tourism statistics for 2018 were presented. So in honor of National Tourism and Travel Week, the state of Wisconsin Department of Tourism does release these figures. A couple exciting things to note. Number 1 is I'm not smart enough to figure this out on my own, and the state gives us a template, so there's that. You need to know that. Number 2, exciting things are that in the state of Wisconsin, relative to everyone else, Ozaukee County is ranked 27th out of 72 counties in tourism. Last year we were 28th. So we went up 1, which is a great thing. You can see all the statistics about the numbers and where we fit in with the rest. Bottom line is we're doing great. We're moving upward, not downward in terms of tourism and travel in our county. Some counties did see negatives. We've seen only positives. I would say relative to some of the statistics about employment and tourism jobs, I would say that those numbers are low because I think there are many more tourism-related jobs that are empty right now. So I think that statistic could be even higher, and the jobs created could be even higher if we could have all of our restaurant, retail, hospitality, tourism sites be fully staffed. Then we would see an even higher number of employees relative to those statistics. But I think I just thought it was apropos for me to bring and share with you that information. And along with that, just so that you know, we're very, very fortunate that on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the Secretary of Tourism, Sarah Meany, who is new to our state in tourism, or to our government in tourism, and our Lieutenant Governor, Mandela Barnes, will be coming to Grafton from 3 to 4 in the afternoon. They want to see the Paramount Walking Tour. They want to see the Paramount Plaza. I'd like to encourage any or all of you to attend if you'd like. Join us from 3 to 4. They're going to see the plaza, made arrangements for the jazz band from the high school to come and do a little performance. There'll be just a little meet and greet. They are here for an hour, that's all we get. I only get to invite 25 people. You're my favorite people, so if you'd like to attend, just let me know. We'd love to have you. Thankfully, Park and Rec is going to work with us because it's certainly going to be now a lovely day, so we're going to have some tents out there. We'll do some of it out on the plaza. They want to see the Walk of Fame, but we'll have some tents there, and then we'll move into the atlas. So you're welcome to join us. And it's a great feather in our cap that they choose to come to our community because they go all over the state this week, and they feel we come to us, so we're very happy about that. Relative to, you've seen the report, I think. I'm sorry for the delay on this. We sort of had our wires crossed on when and where and how I was supposed to be here, but I'm here now. You've seen our report, I think, relative to where we were. I was hired in 2002 to work for the Grafton Area Chamber of Commerce as their first administrative assistant as a result of rooms tax dollars collected. And I think the budget was $9,000 for me in 2002. And that was when we got 1% of the room tax collected on one hotel, and that afforded us an opportunity to have one 8 to 10 hour employee, and that was me. So where we were and where we've come it speaks a lot to who we are and what we've become over the last 17 years, so that's pretty exciting. It's pretty cool when you think about it. My hair is grayer, I'm not any taller, but I'm still as excited, and I still love what I do just about as much. We did go from a 1 and 2 half-time people, or 1 3/4 time and 1/3 person when I started, to 3 people at this point in time. When we're fully staffed, we'll have 1 full-time and 2 part-time people. We are in transition right now, but change is good. We will be fine. We're excited about what's coming forward for us, and we're excited about what we did this year. In 2018, we set some really lofty goals for tourism and where we wanted to go and how we wanted to get there. In our first year with our contract with the village, we spent a lot of time strategizing, doing some surveying, looking at what we needed to do and how we could get there. In year 2, which was this past year, we implemented podcasts. We did 12 podcasts for our community. We grew our listenership throughout this year, and we're very excited about where we're going to keep heading on that direction. So if you haven't been listening to them, please do. We'd love to hear your feedback on those. We were able to purchase banners for the Paramount Plaza, the Riverwalk, both north and south, and the bridge for all 4 seasons. Thank you goodness that, thanks to DPW and Park and Rec, those are up, and we now have a 1-year cycle. We now have a good strategy on how we will get them up and get them down throughout the year, but we're very excited about the way they look and what they've done and to perk up that area of the community. Our goal will then be to broaden that scope and to grow that program. Challenge there is, where do we start, how far do we go, how far east, south, north, and west do we go, and the kind of cost involved in that is huge. So we really felt like we hit some really key elements and really enhanced some areas that matter. Not that everything doesn't matter, but those were our key places. We have worked on and decided that we would like to put out an RFP for the Blues Marker Park. There is no name for that, but I'm just going to call it that today. So at the corner of Falls Road and 12th Avenue, we do own that property, the village does. If we're going to continue to promote the blues, and that is part of our heritage, then we really need a place for people to come and see it and understand it. Talking about a walking tour, which is very nice, that someone might have lived in that house who might remember, someone used to live in that house who kind of remembers, someone probably lived in this house who maybe remembers, and there was a building over there and there's the brick. Isn't enough. So we need to have some kind of interactive, some kind of a place where people can come and really understand the history, because we do have lots of people who call us, write to us, and come in and see us and want to see, what's the walking tour look like? And okay, so it's about a 20-minute thing, and you just go down there and you look at this book, and it's great, but we're going to enhance that. So we put out our piece on Jessica, thank goodness, we have brilliant people work for the village, has put together information for an RFP, so we're looking at ways to enhance that area. I think in the long term, if you look at some of what our budget talks about, there are restricted funds there, and so money from the room tax dollars that we continue to put into savings, and this is the perfect kind of project that makes sense for what we would use funds like that for. Someday it might be a visitor center, someday it might be a convention center, someday there's some very big lofty things that might be this, but this is one of our first initial takes of this plan. So we're very excited about that. we were instrumental in and have secured, just been told that we secured a GEM grant, a joint effort marketing grant through the Department of Tourism with the county, with the communities in our county that are all a part of the Interurban Trail. So we will receive about $35,000 in matching funds from the state of Wisconsin to promote the Interurban Trail, which I believe is one of the greatest assets in our county and our community. So some of that money will be used for the website, to market the trail, and then we've talked about enhancing the trail in our community. We have a great part of this trail. We have the only loop, and so that's a great selling point for tourists and for events to happen in our community, because we're the only place you can stay and go around in a circle and stay here. And people are looking to start and finish in the same place, but we need benches, we need better markers, we need better things to signify where the trail is, where it starts, where it ends, and just enhancements as a part of it. So that's me in a nutshell. I can keep going if you want me to, but there's a Bucks game coming up, and but I'm happy to tell you all or more, or any of more that you'd like to hear. And I must tell you, we cannot do what we do without the village. I am on the phone with Park and Rec, with DPW, with fire, with police, with everybody in this room on a weekly basis to do what we do, and I believe it's one of the greatest partnerships around. My colleagues in this arena of work do not get what we get relative to partnerships, so we can't do what we do without them. Can you say anything?
Any questions for Pam?
I have one. I'm just wondering, are these the books for the chamber or for Celebrate Grafton? Or
Chamber.
Okay.
Celebrate Grafton is a nonprofit, so that's a 501c3 organization that is the way I define it for people is the festivals committee for our community, but it's a 501c3 independent of the chamber and independent of the village. The members of the Celebrate board are all volunteers. The only person who gets paid anything, and not from Celebrate Grafton, but who sort of has it as part of her job description, is me. But I'm not a voting member of that organization. I do all the administrative support on the back end. The money that we give to Celebrate Grafton is a part of our agreement with the village, and it's stated in our tourism contract with the village that we take that $15,000 and give it to Celebrate Grafton, because that was what the village had given Celebrate Grafton in the past.
Okay. Is there any way to see the expenses and budgets for Celebrate Grafton?
You can ask, but it's a private organization.
Right. It just seems like there's not a lot of separation between the chamber and Celebrate. That's what.
Well, we do the administrative support for all of the festivals. So I do the permitting, I fill out the paperwork for the permits.
Right.
We book the bands, we get the porta-johns. So we do the administrative side of it, but we don't do anything with the budgeting, and I don't write checks, and all of the books are handled through Celebrate Grafton, and that's not me.
Okay, any other questions, comments regarding tourism? All right, it's a report. I don't think I see any action required. It's just basically informational for the board. So Pam, thank you very much. We appreciate all the work that you do.
I do have one question. As this is year 3 of our contract, and so, we would certainly want to have some understanding of what the process looks like to move forward in discussions for extending a new contract, whatever that looks like moving forward.
Fair enough. Thank you much.
Thanks.
All right, let's move on. Item 2, termination of the TID 2 information room purposes.
Sure. The village is at the time where by June 3rd, 2019, TID number 2, the Grafton Business Park, which we're located in right now, has to be terminated. This was going to be on finance, but due to the timing of finance, I didn't want to just come to the village board with a resolution at the next meeting. But basically, the resolution will be coming to close the TID. It will put the assessment of the parcels back in the general roll as of 1/1/2020, which means 2021 budget will be impacted by the assessments being placed back on the general roll. So one more year, 2020, will collect for TID 2, the 2021 back on the general roll. And it's a long formula, but basically it's looking like roughly $75,000 increase to the tax levy due to the closure of the TID. But again, it depends on the TID out equalized value as of 2020 and the assessments for TID number 2.
Okay. And TID 2 is,
Grafton Business Park.
which is right over
Just
here.
here.
So, questions for Paul?
I just had one, it was not so much a question, it's more of a typo on the resolution. On the very first line, you have the wrong date in there, the wrong year.
Okay. Other questions? All right, let's move on to item 6, resolutions, ordinance, action items. Item A, report of the Public Safety Committee. It's a motion to approve the request for the Sweat for Vets post walk to be held on May 18th, and to waive any overtime charges be approved.
Make a motion.
Second,
Motion second, third or fourth year, it's been growing every year. Any comments, questions, or?
I just have one. So, I just want to make it clear that it was not to waive any overtime charges, it was to waive any fees or any charges. I think, it had been brought up about, the police officer who comes down, they're on overtime because they are volunteer or are assigned, but it was to waive all the fees.
Person made the second and the motion, are they okay with that change?
Yes.
yep.
Okay. So, and to waive any charges be approved. That being said, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item B is report of Park and Rec. A motion to approve the story walk in Veterans Memorial Park be approved.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
John, you know about the story, about,
I know a little bit about it,
story
yes. They presented a really nice proposal, very in-depth. You have a picture, or you had a picture eventually at one point, so it's gonna be a quality product. It started out kind of being kind of a handmade thing, but now they're getting it manufactured. It's gonna be a very professional, quality-looking 15 to 20 different stations, pages of a book on each side, and you'll just walk the river walk and read a book, and it will be able to change, you know, with seasons or holidays and things like that, so it's gonna be a nice project.
questions for John?
And John, just to recap, that will be maintained and the books or pages changed by the libraries?
The library will be doing that. We're helping with installation and things like that, but they will be maintaining the book pages. And the diagram that you had, just to point out, spoke with the village planner today. Where you see those, where the pages of the book will be, those are not exact. We are gonna probably use the whole Riverwalk. Spacing may be a little bit different, but just for future reference, the diagram you got is not an exact of what's going to be.
Mr. Hanson, anything you wish to add to this project?
No, John did a good job of summarizing it. We would partner some with the chamber and incorporate some blues, animated stories for parts of the year as well. So we kind of change off seasons. It'd be a nice variety of stories for families and kids.
Who brought this to the Park and Rec?
Nicolette Burkholz, her last name is, yeah, she's been working on this for over a year, well over a year, and we reviewed it last year, and she came back with a fabulous proposal.
This is also came up in tourism too.
Yeah.
So it's it kind of, again, it's kind of telling the whole story, and it's I think another neat feature. So,
And the library committee looked at it as well, and was very enthusiastic for support.
Nicolette's got a lot of enthusiasm, so I'm sure it's great.
excellent. All right, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Department and officer reports. We have good representation here tonight. Anybody have any questions for them? Anybody have anything they wish to pass along? I see one hand over there. Yes?
I have a question for Amber. Have you heard anything about the parking issue on Badger Circle in regards to Capco off of Cheyenne? We talked about that at Public Safety a number of months ago.
All the parking signs there now.
Is it actually west of the entrance to Capco? Have those been put in? Because the last we heard, I think somebody was gonna need to talk to Capco to authorize that second set of,
That isn't, but all the way around.
I'm talking about the area from the entrance into Capco parking lot. And I don't know if you had heard about trying to follow up, or Jesse, if that's something we need to do on your end?
Admittedly, I would have to look into it.
And maybe talk to Chief Wenton about that?
Yeah, I can check into it. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Admittedly, I don't have an answer for you right now, as I said.
Really quickly, the issue was before we put up additional no parking, we want to make sure that they can put it where they're just being a corporate partners. Okay. All right, anybody else have any questions? Yes?
Very quickly, on the dais this evening, I did have the draft press release that the Mid-Moraine Municipal Court put together. Late last week, we carried out, I'm president of the Municipal Court's Administrative Committee, and we interviewed semifinalists, and then 5 semifinalists, and then 3 finalists. And the vote of the Administrative Committee was to appoint Attorney Christine Olis as our next Municipal Court judge. As everyone will recall, with the election of our current judge, Steve Kane, to the Ozaki Circuit Court, we need to appoint a new judge. That said, Judge Kane's term runs through the end of this July. Attorney Christine Olis will be taking the bench as of August 1st. There were, if I could back up a little bit, there were 10 applicants for the position, and through the vetting process, we landed on Attorney Olis. She comes to us with municipal background at the county level as county attorney and corporation counsel, as well as for Washington and Waukesha County. So very strong background of all of the candidates. We had a very good situation where all of the finalists were very strong. And that said, the Administrative Committee took the vote. It was a unanimous vote on behalf of Attorney Olis. And that being said, the court will be providing each member community a resolution for adoption, formally appointing Attorney Olis as judge. So that will be forthcoming.
Okay, thank you.
Jesse, I got a question. Did the 3rd firefighter start yet? Because I got an email, something about a swearing in.
There is a swearing in.
May 19th.
Thank you.
So that's for firefighter number 2 and number 3?
Correct.
Okay, because with the financial information that you gave us through the first quarter of the year, the revenue targets are not at, 25%.
Yes, at
Lower
that
than
point in
that, so
time,
I'm
we
just
weren't.
wondering.
Yes, correct. Staff revisited each month as we get new financial statements from our billing company, and we were trending in the positive direction. A company with salary savings, we were there for this year, and then looking forward as well, we have accomplished that benchmark, so we moved ahead with.
Okay, because I think that email came out before the end of April, so.
Yes. Yes, and
Okay.
right, and at the end of each month, we get brand new updated statistics and reports, so.
Okay.
Anything else? All right, let's move on to item 8, approval of the issue of operator's license. You see 1, 2, 5, 7 right there. Their places of employment are listed. There's a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All.
John?
Trustee Glassman.
And then who seconded?
Trustee
Thank you.
Got it. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Let's move on to item 9, report of the bills. Entertain a motion for approval of village expenditures, $608,000, $278.68.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion second. As always, comments, questions on the bills? I know some back and forth went today.
Yeah, I had a few, and I apologize for the last minute inquiry. There were a number, and thank you for answering them all, Paul and Jesse. The couple that I am still a little concerned about are the 3 or 4 requests for payment for coming out of the uniform allowance, which again includes, one of them includes a replacement of a firearm. Some of them include other types of clothing, not necessarily part of the uniform. I know that we've talked about that in the past, and we go around and around, and that is apparently authorized with this contract, but I cannot, in good faith, vote yes on this because of those items. So I just wanted you to know.
Okay, other questions on the bills?
Sure, as long as I see Tim here, he may be the best answer. We had a water main break on Pleasant Valley at Green Bay Road, and I saw that was covered or repaired by a contractor. Were we busy, or was it a significant break that needed attention by a contractor?
It was a 12-inch transmission main. There were some very significant conditions under which that repair had to be made, and we were not equipped.
Okay.
Because of the depth of the trench, because of the trench letting loose. I believe that was D.F. Thomasini.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, it was, the conditions did not allow the utility field operations staff to fix it.
Okay, all right, thank
What was
you.
the address on that?
It was Pleasant Valley Road at
Highway
21 B,
Okay, I guess I
North
was.
Green Bay, or North Green Bay.
My question was, I hate to jump backwards, but since we're talking a little bit about the corner of Falls.
No, B.
Oh,
The
concrete that's still in
Yeah. What was?
Highway O.
Stay on.
Highway O, I'm sorry, cut the wrong letter.
wrong letter.
Wrong.
So
Green Bay Road.
let's,
Sorry.
single conversations. All right.
The construction at 12th and Falls.
Yep.
Yep, we replaced some concrete, there's some repairs to be done there, and then we're just waiting for asphalt plants to open, which they did just open last week, so once we have dry weather, we
We're
should go.
gonna start asking, because it's been a couple weeks now. Okay,
Yep.
all right. Anything else on the bills? All right, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yay.
Joe and May, item 10, motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Let's go watch the Bucks.